All right, and as you are able to, please stay standing. Go ahead and join us in our opening song, which is Spirit in This Place, is in this place. We'll have lyrics up pretty soon. And here we go.
My name is Marjorie Ray, and I'm a practitioner here at Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living.
Yes, you are.
And I would like to welcome all of you, but most important, I would like Janice to bring forth the candle that we light that represents the light that we are, that we represent that divine spirit within that supports each and every one of us. And so as she lights the candle, she is recognizing that we are all here in the light and love and joy. let me move. Oh my goodness. All right, oh, there we are. I've been away for a while and I forgot how to do this. So, we got the slides moved. Now if you would say with me the affirmation for this morning. The circle of love is complete here. This love includes all and is bound by unity. We journey together in that love, hand in hand. We sit in the presence of that love and see the face of God in all. And I'd invite you to close your eyes if you'd like as we come together recognizing that there's just one power, one presence, one energy back of absolutely all creation, everyone and everything. And I recognize and know that everyone participating here today, Reverend Bobbi, Rachel, the musicians, the host, and everyone we are all expressions of the one. And even us, we in the audience, are expressions of the one, and we support this service, knowing that it is God in action, and it's very good and excellent and magnificent, and so I release it knowing that it is so, and so it is.
There you go. Hi. Welcome, everybody. My name is Ray Bradford, and I am just so happy. I have not been up here to look into your beautiful eyes for over 3 months, and I'm just so happy to be here. For everybody who is joining us here in person, welcome back. If you are new, I know there are some new people here, know that you are loved. We are different because you are here, and that's not just hyperbole. We are. And for those of you watching us streaming, whether it's watching us live today or throughout the week, because you can always find us on YouTube or in our website, welcome. We are also different because you are here. We are a radically different community. We believe that love, peace, joy, acceptance, compassion, the whole rainbow of emotions and consciousness is already present inside of all of us. It is not something out there that we are striving for. Now, sometimes we may forget, either through outside circumstances or inside challenges, that we are already love. But we as a community are here to remind you through our talks, through our messages, through our events, through our programs, that you are one, we are one, you are love, you are peace. And whether you're here for the first time or the 100th time, you may ask yourself, well, so how do we do this? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can just sit back, relax, whether you're here in person or at home, and throughout today, through the talk, through the songs, through the different people that are up here, we will show you the pathway to light, love, and peace. But who are the guides for today? Let me share with you the people who you will come to know intimately throughout today. First of all is our most awesome senior minister, Reverend Bobbi Becker, who will be sharing her message here today. Also, we are just so excited to have a dynamic music team, led by our music director, Lena Hayek, the awesome recording artist, Melissa Lewis. You should get her CDs. We have every one. I travel and I play them. They are just, she's amazing, but they all are. And also on percussion, Jim Asbell. Now there are many other people, so I will say their names, but I invite you to hold. Oh my God, Des Glover. At least you didn't do the wah, 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 which I deserve for that one. But let me tell you who else the guides for this Sunday are, and I invite you to hold your applause till the end because there are several people. The production staff who keep us on sound, on track, and streaming live are John Hungerford and Dale Mall. The practitioners for today's service, you met Marjorie Ray. Holding us in consciousness during service is Janice Guevara. And the pre-service meditation today was conducted by Valerie Day. Our welcome team, which you saw in the front and in the parking lot, are Lorraine Urbina, Janine Cochran, who is not here today, but she's in San Antonio, I believe, and Diane Ronner. The youth and family team, which you will see later on, they're in the next building. They're being coordinated by Wenda Arcala, and I believe they are joined today by Terry Enderson. The production coordinator who pulls it all together and makes sure that we are on track is Carol Ann Perini, providing providing American Sign Language Interpretation, or ASL, is the wonderful Eileen C. Davis. And many times this is not included, but I want to make sure that it is included. Coordinating the delightful spread of food that magically, or not magically, appears on these tables is Florane Limpus and her wonderful team of elves over there. So at this time, I'd like to welcome back up here the practitioner and the treasurer for Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living, Marjorie Ray, who looks surprised that I'm inviting her back up. For the announcements? Oh, I'm sorry. The chairperson of the board is Debbie Ann Brooks.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Welcome, everybody. My name is Debbie Ann, and I am the chair of the Leadership Council here at Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living. And I'm here to share some wonderful announcements, but first we're going to read our mission together. Please read with me. Through mindful and respectful exploration, we are creating a healthier foundation that supports and engages a whole beloved community equipped to launch new strategies for a thriving spiritual center. Thank you. Okay, we have a few brief announcements. First of all, next Sunday is our candlelight service. So our service will happen at 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. followed by a potluck. So do not show up at 11 because no one will be here. So I wanted to say again, no service in the morning next week. And our winter solstice celebration is Thursday, December 21st at 7 p.m. right here. And we have the pleasure of having Vox Angeles. She is a vocal alchemy and transmission expert. And this is a offering by The Circle, which is our healing arts ministry. You can sign up on our website and also in the newsletter. So that's the 21st at 7 p.m. in person. You may have received a gold envelope in the mail. It's about a fund drive that is an opportunity to celebrate our brilliant start and our radiant future. And it's important that if you want to donate at the end of the year and gift us in the future, you do it in this gold envelope so we can keep track of these donations at this time. And it's in honor of reaching this significant milestone that we've reached together as a community. And it's also a wonderful, it's something we do every year here at Seal Beach, but now you will be part of a founding member of this community because we're brand new as Pacific Coast, and this fund drive is an opportunity to support that. And before I start our thank yous, I want to share a beautiful, beautiful offering from Don and Florette. They are opening their home on Christmas Day, and they have room for 10 guests. And they are going to make lasagna that day, but it's also a potluck, so if you'd like to sign up and share your holiday with Don and Florette, please sign up. This sign-up sheet is going to be where all the sign-up sheets live in the when you come in the sanctuary. It'll be available after service today. And they're opening their home, which is a beautiful gesture for anybody that might need a place to go on Christmas Day. And it's a potluck and a white elephant gift exchange. So I want to thank Don and Florette for doing that. It's beautiful. And a couple of other brief thank yous. We, the board, would like to thank, or the chair, Leadership Council, would like to thank John Broderick for all his help. John is actually the first person here every Sunday. He sets everything up for everyone, everything technical, and he's also been doing a lot of work behind the scenes consistently, supporting our community. So I really want to hear a round of applause for John. Thank you, John. And also, how about that choir? Did you hear them? Yes. They sounded beautiful, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. And let me tell you, it's not the easiest thing to get up in front of people and share your voice. And so it was beautiful today. Thank you very much. And thank you, Lena, for your work with the choir. And as Ray mentioned, there's these little elves that are always here, and they just appear with all that lovely, yummy food after service. And I want to thank Fellowship again. So Dina, Janie, Florian, thank you. Thank you.
And this is the time of our sacred song, as you can see. This is the same call and response song, so I'll sing a line, you repeat after me. We'll do it twice. And it sounds beautiful every time you sing. So sing from your heart. You can close your eyes if you'd like, or you can just listen. That's okay too. God is love. God is love. God is grace. God is grace. Speak our prayer. Speak our prayer. In this place. In this place. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give praise. We give praise. For the blessing. For the blessing. Of this day. Beautiful day. God is love. God is love. God is grace. God is grace. Speak our prayer. Speak our prayer. In this place. In this place. We give thanks. We give thanks. And we give praise. We give praise. For the blessings. For the blessings. Of this day. Of this day. And for grandparents with loving trust, all who teach and mentor us, for everyone who leads and guides with patient hearts and sacrifice. God is love, and God is grace. God is grace. Speak our prayer. Speak our prayer. In this place. In this place. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give praise. We give praise. For the blessing. For the blessing. Of this day. Of this day. For sister and brother too, for friends and family who see us through, for those at ground who lead and form, heart, mind, and soul, that we may grow. God is love. God is love. God is grace. God is grace. Speak our prayer. Speak our prayer. In this place. In this place. We give thanks.
blessings,
for the blessings
of this day.
of this day. God is love,
God is love,
God is grace.
God is grace.
Speak our prayers
Speak our prayer
in this place.
in this place.
We give thanks,
We give thanks,
we give praise
we give praise
for the blessings,
for the blessing,
for our families,
for our family,
for our children,
for our children,
for everyone on this day.
this day.
Our theme this month is wholeness, which is a wonderful theme. I spent the first half of my life not anything close to being aware of my wholeness. You see, I was born in 1944 before World War II had ended. And I was born into a culture that was living in fear and anxiety. I was born into a culture that really didn't value women. Women were valued as mothers and caretakers of children. And if you worked outside the home, it was a teacher, a secretary, or a nurse. There you go. And those, yeah, I'm sure some did more than that, but that was the cultural that I grew into, and I put on that persona. My family also was very in people-pleasing. I remember as a kid, when we wanted to go to a movie, Mom would say what she thought Dad wanted to see. Dad would say what he thought Mom wanted to see, and I'd sit there frustrated going, but I'd like to say what I want to see. I learned very quickly to be whatever anybody wanted me to be. And as a consequence, I didn't know my wholeness, and I really didn't even know who I was. I grew up very insecure, afraid, didn't think I was smart, didn't think I was attractive. I wanted to be a little fly on the wall. Kind of hard to believe now that you see me up here, but that was me. And I was also involved in high school in a church, and I felt more comfortable there than I did anywhere else, but still, it was a God that was going to judge me. And as I got close to the end of high school, I decided it was very hypocritical to ask for the impossible. And I didn't think that was right, so I basically let church go. I became a teacher, because that's what you do, and came to Southern California, joined a ski club, and I discovered alcohol. And you know what? With a little alcohol, I found out I could talk on a microphone. I could lead a ski trip. I led a convention. It was my medication. And for a long time, it really worked. I discovered I was more than I thought I was. My goodness, I just surprised myself. But eventually, it didn't work so well. And I eventually was trying to figure out, how do I stop now? Read a lot of books, did a lot of searching, and finally came to that point where I said, Dear God, I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to turn myself into AA, and if that doesn't work, I will go to rehab. And that was a gift, because when I got a master's in marriage, family, child counseling, never been married and didn't have any children, but it's what you do. And in the course of that education, we were told, if you run into someone with alcohol problems, don't try to deal with them. Send them to AA. So when I came to that point of surrender, I knew what to surrender to. And I was not aware of spirit in my life, but spirit in my life kept peeking out. Now, even while I was drinking, I was a skier, an avid skier, actually a racer as well. And there would be times, we had this group of us that skied together, and one of the gentlemen from Ireland had a Bible in the shape, a flask in the shape of a Bible. And we would stop on the Church of the Open Slope and do Bible study. And we would all partake of the holy water from the Holy Bible. You know, it doesn't get more sacrilegious than that. And that's where I was. But I'll tell you what, a day or two later, even that day, there are times when I'm skiing, it is a metaphor for what we believe. Because I would be at one with the mountain. My knees would just be, there was no fighting. It was just going with what is. And I would start singing, for the beauty of the earth over and around us lies. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. So, what I know now is even though I wasn't aware of spirit within me poked its head out every now and then and made me appreciate the world, my life, and gave me courage at times to do the things I didn't want to do. Now, surrendering was only the first start, because when I surrendered, I really didn't know who I was. I was a people pleaser. I would be what you wanted me to be. But as Spirit would have it, I got sober on the 29th of June, 85, and on July 4th, I was at a 4th of July party, and there was a gentleman there, and I was telling him about one of the books that I read that finally brought me to surrender, which was The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. And I kind of got, after reading that there was something within me that was more than I had realized, that God essence. And he said, well, I haven't read the book, but it sounds like my church. And he was an usher at Huntington Beach Church of Religious Science. And within 2 weeks, I was there, and I started my path of discovering my wholeness. And it didn't happen overnight. In the beginning, it was very difficult. I didn't know whether people would like me if I didn't please them all the time. So it took it's been quite a few years, let me tell you. I've been with this program for over 35 years. And I highly recommend taking classes. Sundays are wonderful, but classes is where the real oomph comes. And I will also say that about a month after I found Huntington Beach, they had a minister there visiting from Africa, and he taught us a song, God No Dead. And at first I thought I was in a holy roller place, you know. God no dead, he is alive. God no dead, he is alive. I hold him in my hands, I hold him in my heart. And then the last sign was, I hold him side by me. And I started to cry. Because I got that there was a spirit within me, but it's not just me, it's everybody. And I realized, that was when I finally realized, when we talk about wholeness, we're also talking about oneness. We are all one. We are all made out of the same stuff. That God essence is the truth of who we are. And I look back on my life, and I realized that what seemed like that not too pleasant first half of my life was a gift. Because all that insecurity gave me compassion for people who are insecure and scared and don't know who they are. And when I find myself saying, how could he do that? How could they do that? I have to remind myself what I did when I was drinking. And I was doing the best I could, and I thought I was Miss Goody Two-Shoes. It's amazing what rationalizing and denial can do. You can make black white, and that's what I did. And that allows me to have the compassion and allows me to, when I can remember, and I don't always remember, I'm a work in progress. I'm still growing. The last 2 years have been another growth spurt. You know, I have stepped on people's toes and had to make amends, and it's all a part of learning. And I'd like to finish by reading from Saturday's Daily Guides from Science of Mind, Wholeness, Living Wholeness Even When It Hurts. Wholeness includes everything. If we are infinite possibilities for thought, word, and action, this must include all things we call missteps, miscalculations, and errors of judgment. Calling some of these things good and other things bad puts us in the mindset that we have failed. The truth is we can't fail. We can only learn. When we learn about ourselves and grow from our life experiences, as much as this is, we can all learn about ourselves and grow from our life experiences. As much as this is true for individuals, it's true for how we perceive everyone else as well. Let's all do our best not to judge ourselves or others. Instead, focus on what we can learn from our every experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Marjorie. Wow.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in
I
my
hold
heart.
you in my heart.
You are a part of
You
me.
are a part of me.
You are the face of
You
God.
are the face of God.
You are the face of
You
God.
are the face of God.
I hold you in my
hold you in my heart.
You are a part.
You are a part of me.
You are the face
You
of
are
God.
the face of God. You are the face of God.
Ooh, yeah.
I hold you in my heart.
My heart is open.
You are a part of me.
A big part of me.
You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my
I
heart.
hold you in my heart.
You are a part.
Always a part of me.
You are the face of God.
Well, good morning, everyone. So I want to get a little business out of the way. I bring my own props sometimes. So 2 things. One, this is the amazing Rachel Rosen, who's up here with me today. And for those of you that joined me last week when we were hanging lemons on this tree, yes, I did hurt my ankle. So it's not just a prop. And I think about it lends itself to wholeness. And so Rachel and I are going to talk a little bit about wholeness today. Because we live the lesson of wholeness. And the lesson being what we learn from it, how we show up as it, which is we always show up whole. Always. No matter what's going on, we show up whole. That's the deal. And principle is not bound by precedent, is it? So that means, go ahead, Rachel. That means that we are not whole by what we identify with. We are whole, period. So Rachel is one of 2 practitioner leaders here. We have 16 practitioners here at Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living. And 16 amazing practitioners, not just 16 practitioners. Folks, our Prac Corps has really blended well together between the 2 communities. There's a lot of love and care for each other and for the community, and it's such a joy to watch. At our last practitioner meeting, which we do every month, I was just blown away by the care that was in the room. And Rachel is one of those leads. Valerie Day. Valerie, just raise your hand wherever you are if you're here. She's in the back. I think she's holding vigil, but that's okay. You get to just say hi while you're holding vigil. These 2 have really done an amazing, I don't want to call it a job because it's not. They've just done amazing with bringing the Corps together, and they care for the Corps, and both have such deep spiritual practice. And I asked Rachel if she would talk a little bit about herself, and then we're going to talk about wholeness.
Thank you, Reverend Bobbi. First thing I want to say is that when I hold the gaze of another, and I'm now doing that with Reverend Bobbi, no matter what place I think I've been in, I come back into that center, that place of all that I am is spirit, because there is an allowing, there is a receiving of that. There is an expectation, too, of that. And when another sees me as whole, I do feel my wholeness. And that's then what I try to do when I'm out and about in the world, is to see the wholeness in others, because it's a gift to both of us. You never do anything all on your own or by yourself or with yourself, because we're all connected. And that's one of the many, many lessons that I've learned in all the spiritual paths I've walked. I want to talk about first the gift of my own father and his father and the lineage that they came from, because that explains some part of how I go about things and where I am right here and now. My father he came from Russia. He studied as a rabbi there, but he never wanted to practice as one when he came to this country. But his father had been a rabbi, and going back 10 generations of rabbis. And what I know of it, I didn't study myself, but what I know of it is this. There are studies, there is a lot of information, there's a lot of ritual, there's a lot of learning about the laws. But there's also this spirit of inquiry, this philosophical desire to understand from so many points of view, so that you're not bound, you're not imprisoned by one way of seeing. And if he's imparted anything to me from his being alive when I was growing up, it's that we need to question. We need to question who we are, where we come from, Why are we here? What are we doing? And that has saved me. So I was telling Reverend Bobby the other day that when I was a teenager, I was really torn because he had passed away when I was younger, and he had been my rock. He had been the one in the family that had understood who I was and where I was coming from. It didn't come in words, it just came in this knowing that was imparted to me. And when he left life, when he left my life, I was at sea. And then when adolescence hit, I was really at sea because all of the juices that come through, I was upside down, and I really wanted to end it all because I just was so sad and so depressed and so unhappy and didn't know where I was going in life and what I wanted really. So I got to this place where I thought, well, I really thought it through, and I said, I just don't have the wherewithal to find a way directly to kill myself, so I'm just going to walk across the street in between parked cars, and maybe some cars will hit me, and that'll be it. I don't belong in this time, in this place, with this family, in this world. I just can't find a place for myself. So I left. I left it up to chance, and it didn't happen. And then I realized that it could happen, but not in a way that I was hoping it would. I might end up crippled. Then I'd have to go through life with the extra burden of not having a whole body and letting somebody else have to take care of me, the very place I wanted to get out of. Because when you're an adolescent, you're neither in the place you want to get to, which is to be in charge of your life, to chart the course of your life, and you're no longer in the place where you think you need help. So, I mean, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't make money. I couldn't get out of the house, even though I had my bags packed for like months. I had no place to go. I once walked to the corner where the bus was with my suitcase. And then I realized I don't have the money for the bus fare.
Rachel, I was thinking, Rachel and I have talked about this. I love this story as a young person because I imagine a lot of us felt like that, where we didn't belong, we didn't fit, this wasn't where we were supposed to be. And I kind of think that's the journey, to find our own way, to find out. Because when something isn't working, at least in our own mind, we think something's wrong with us, right? And that without really I'm not sure it's these words, but really thinking that we're not whole because it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like I'm fitting here. And because we're trying to identify oftentimes with how others are identifying themselves around us. I'm an accountant. I'm a rabbi. I'm a priest. I'm whatever it is that I'm doing rather than who I am really. And so when Rachel described that story, told me that story, I was thinking, having that own experience myself and knowing that we come in here oftentimes to find the wholeness that we feel like we're missing.
Yes. And so when I got to that place, I thought, well, if there either is a God or there isn't a God, and it doesn't seem to be showing up, so I got to go now. I got to do the work and look for it. And first I was an existentialist because I didn't really believe there was a God because I was in the mess I was in. And existentialism didn't give me the answer. It made me more depressed. So then I thought, okay, let's suppose there is something like God. It has to be a loving God. It has to be present right here with me. It has to show me some light within myself, lighten up my life, somehow I have to find something that lets me know that I am not just good, but whole, but intact. A whole person who has a life that can unfold in the most beautiful, most powerful, most meaningful way. So then I found Gurdjieff, because I was still doing this from a philosophical point of view. And Gurdjieff gave me something, and then I realized that that's the way that he taught his followers was exactly what my father had been doing very intuitively with me in taking me out of myself to look at many points of view so that I could see there were other ways of looking at my life, looking at my experience, and how I felt and how I wanted to feel. And that led me to a lot of opening. I read the Bhagavad Gita, the Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And at some point, I had an experience that completely changed my life and made me realize, got me to the place where I realized that two things that seem contradictory exist at the same time. That there is a holiness in the center of my being, and that at the same time, I'm in the center of that holiness, that wholeness. And there are no boundaries. There's no separation. And it's just where I want to step into, what spotlight I want to shine on it, that it's the same. I'm in the midst of this eternally infinite grandeur that I call God. This presence, I am part of it, and it is part of me. When I started meditating over 50 years ago, that was one of the most powerful experiences I had, was the recognition that this divine light, this divine power, and what I find when I go within into my breath, it is in me, but at the instant I realize it's in me, I also realize that I'm inside of it. So that when we say we're completely surrounded by light and good and love and that wholeness, that centeredness, it is part of who we are, and we are a part of it. There is no separation. And that to me is wholeness, when I know I'm one.
So Rachel, you said the surrounded by that light and love. So what I'm feeling into right now is the surrounding is because I am the light and love. And I'm just happy to, I might be seeing it or feeling it, thinking it's separate when it's really emanating from all of creation, and I'm in it. It's part of me. It is me. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, and that is what and who I am. So yes, it emanates, and that becomes my truth. That becomes what is real, and nothing else is relevant because it's not a part of it.
So when I forget that, where do I look? What am I doing? Where am I looking?
When you are forgetting?
When I'm forgetting that love and light is emanating, that I'm part of it, where am I looking?
You're looking outside, all around, instead of in here.
And so give me an example of what I might be looking for to fulfill that, to fill that.
Outside? Oh, my goodness. There's our job, our preoccupations, our thinking that we have a romantic connection with someone else, all the ways that we allow ourselves to forget, like movies and skiing.
So I distract myself.
Distractions, yes.
And those things are good, but if those are the things where I find the most meaning, then where am I?
Yeah, then you're not, you're just separated. There's pieces of you. I see it in my mind's eye as all these little particles that are not connected by the gravity of the realness of who we are as humans. I came across, if you want me to
Yes,
continue.
go ahead.
So I came across a couple of things, and we have a slide we want to show. The book I go back to a lot is from Rachel Naomi Remen, called My Grandfather's Blessings, because I do relate to that. My own grandfather, I didn't know him well, but he had this long white beard, and he was the picture of a rabbi. He just was. And his breath smelled. But you know, the love that came out of him was just so enormous and inviting. And there's a part in Rachel Naomi Remen's book, which I'd love to read. She's talking about a 16th century Kabbalistic rabbi, and she said in how he understood it was that in the beginning there is this Ein Sof, this pure being without manifestation, the infinite absolute source of the world. And this rabbi explains the fragmented nature of this world by postulating an accident of cosmic proportions, the vessel holding this or Ein Sof that shattered and broke open, and the light of God was scattered throughout the universe into an infinite number of holy sparks. These countless sparks of holiness are hidden deep in everyone and everything. The purpose of human life is to uncover these sparks of light and restore the world to its original wholeness. Everyone and everything we encounter is a shell or a container for a hidden spark of holiness. It is up to us to help free the hidden holiness in everything and everyone. We restore the holiness of the world through our loving kindness and compassion. Everyone participates. It is a collective task. Every act of loving kindness, no matter how great or small, repairs the world. So our collective work is this: we repair and restore the world. And at this point in my life is that I believe that I'm a viable, vibrant part of what keeps this world together, what allows us to know our own holiness. When I do my own work, to know my holiness, to know that the center of God is the center of my being, and vice versa. There's no separation. There's no differentiation. If I know I am God, then maybe I can be of use and of value in this world to help someone else know that too. And that is the truth that I'm always looking for.
Rachel has, through this talk, one of the things that I keep getting from the conversation with Rachel, and then I'm going to ask her to read that last piece she brought, is that our wholeness is everything. And that when we think that something that is wrong with us is not part of that wholeness, the very thing that we think is a fault or a flaw, that's the wholeness too. And it's our perspective of it that makes us separate and feel less whole. So the opportunity exists through loving kindness and compassion for ourselves and others, is to be able to get closer to being restored in our perspective, not in being whole, just the perspective. So I'm going to ask Rachel to close with something she brought so beautiful from the same author.
So I just ask if you want to just close your eyes and breathe and just be with this and feel with this what it is. A colleague of mine, a psychologist, told me this story. In the 80s, when she lived and practiced in New York City, she attended a 2-day professional workshop based on 20 or so short films of one of Carl Jung's last pupils. the Jungian dream analyst Marie-Louise von Franz. Between the showing of these films, a distinguished panel consisting of the heads of 2 major Jungian training centers and Carl Jung's own grandson responded to written questions from the audience. One of these cards told the story of a horrific recurring dream in which the dreamer was stripped of all human dignity and worth through Nazi atrocities. A member of the panel read the dream out loud. As she listened, my colleague began to formulate a dream interpretation in her head, anticipating the panel's response. She thought it was a no-brainer, and as she got involved in his symbolic explanations for the torture and atrocities described in this dream. But this was not how the panel responded at all. When the reading was complete, Jung's grandson looked out over the large audience, and he said, "Would you all please rise? We will stand together in a moment of silence in response to this dream." The audience stood, and then they went on to the next question. After that, my colleague didn't understand why that happened and asked one of her teachers, who said, "There is in life a suffering so unspeakable, a vulnerability so extreme, that it goes far beyond words, beyond explanations, and even beyond healing. In the face of such suffering, all we can do is bear witness, so no one need suffer alone."
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. So it is.
Candles burning low, lots of mistletoe, lots of snow and ice everywhere we go. Choir singing carols right outside my door. All these things and more. All these things and more. That's what Christmas means to me, my love. That's what Christmas means to me, my love. I see your smiling face like I never seen before. Even though I love you madly, it seems I love you more. The little card you give me will touch my heart for sure. All these things and more, darling. All these things and more. That's what Christmas means to me, my love. That's what Christmas means to me, my love. So let's deck the halls with holly, sing sweet silent night, fill the tree with angel hair and pretty, pretty light. Go to sleep and wake up just before daylight. Yeah, and all these things and more, baby. All these things and more. That's what Christmas means to me, my love. That's what Christmas means to me, my love. Come on, Des. All these things and more, baby. things and more.
That's what Christmas means to me, my love.
That's what Christmas means to me, my love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey now,
That's what Christmas means to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So at this point, I'd like to invite the ushers up, please. I'd mentioned earlier that you would hear messages that would remind you that love is the nature of all that we are. Sometimes we may forget. Sundays like this are the times that we are reminded of who we are. So if this means something to you, if you want to support this community which is your community, give of your time, talent, and treasure. And so remember that the law of circulation, the more you give, the more you receive. So I would ask you at this point to join me in sharing this, in reading out loud this affirmation. And before you do, take a deep inhalation, and as you feel your lungs expand, know that your consciousness is expanding too, and that energy is going through each and every one of these words. So repeat with me. I freely and gratefully give from the abundance that is me. We have great capacity for living, loving, and giving. I give today from joy and gratitude, and so it is. And so as the children come up, I'm reminding those of you at home and those here that there are many ways to give, and you see them now on your screen. So let's welcome our youth and family leader, Wendy Arcala, who has been with those awesome, radiant kids who remind us of the inner child inside that we sometimes as adults struggle to keep alive, but they remind us. So if you would come up right now, little bundles of love.
Love these little ones, oh yeah. Yeah. Come on now. Yeah. Yeah. Come on now, Wendy, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Hello? Oh, God, it's amazing what a button can do. Good morning.
Morning.
So I want to start by kind of giving you guys an update. I don't know if any of you saw when I came up here and sat in that chair with Reverend Bobbi a couple of months ago, and just started talking about a little bit about the youth and family program and the need for some help, some more volunteers, and you guys just absolutely rose to the occasion, and I've had so many people come forward, and it's been incredible. I, of course, always have to start by thanking Ian, who's always there. He was in there, yes, he is. And then I've had the addition of Terry. Stand up, Terry. Terry's been amazing with the kids. And let's see, Karen. Yay, Karen. she's out there. So many people have come in. Janine was awesome. She was with us, and Diane and Mary. And so I really appreciate you guys for coming over and hanging out with the kids. It's been awesome. So thank you. And if anybody else is interested, please come see me. And I'd like to talk to you. So, okay. So today we talked about something that Gabe is going to tell you a little bit about.
Today we talked about Hanukkah and how when the Jewish people were in, and how they lit a candle that lasted about 8 days, and that's why we have 8 candles to remember that the candle lasted 8 days for the light and stuff.
Awesome. And did you want to tell us, Mia? Did you want to try it? Okay. Okay, Landon, what do you have to say about? Go ahead, say it. Nice. And that's what Landon has to say about Hanukkah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then Sophia is going to come over here, and as you see, she's wearing her beautiful Hanukkah dress, and she's going to come stand right up here. Do you think you have enough space to do it? Do you think you have enough space to do your spin? Yeah. Okay. Oh, Landon, let's come over here and give Sophia some space. And Sophia is going to show you just how beautiful her Hanukkah dress is. Go ahead, Sophia, give us your spin. Woo! Nice. And we actually lit the menorah and talked about that, and we had latkes, potato pancakes, and we read this absolutely fun, incredible book called Shmelf the Elf that taught us all about Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish friends, and just share the light.
Thank you. One other announcement before I invite the practitioners to stand and join us here and talk about prayer is that every year our community supports different organizations over the holidays in the greater Long Beach area, and this year we're supporting Interval House. Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with Interval House. They are providing a valuable service to those women and children and families who are unfortunate victims of domestic violence by providing support and shelter. And so a week from Monday, we are delivering our offerings there. So we invite you. They said that the best gift that the community could do that would help them spread the wealth far and wide among their clients, those unfortunate victims, is through gift cards. Gift cards to grocery stores, to Target, to Kohl's, for clothing, for apparel, for food. So we invite you for next Sunday to bring whatever gift cards you can buy over the week, 1, 10, whatever you would like in whatever amount. Write a little note there. Make sure you keep the receipt to make sure that it does work. I will be here next Sunday. Just give them all to me. Know that it will be, and then we will take them as a group the following day on Monday the 18th. And know that whatever you can provide, whatever kind of gift card to whatever organization will help these clients, these people, these women, their children, try to get their life back on track through a sense of ownership. And so we invite you to do that. And so now I'd like to invite the practitioners to please stand so we can all see you. First of all, we thank you for your service. They are licensed practitioners. Please know that they are here to help you pray for yourself when you forget that you are pure love. They will remind you if you need prayer for yourself or somebody else in your life. After service, please go to the prayer corner, which is over here. It says prayer happen here by the beautiful Des Glover over there. And so after service, they'll be available here. I now invite a practitioner to please take the candle out. And I will remind all of us that as they do this, let us open our own inner circle of light, even wider, encompassing our entire field of the outer and inner vision. And as the brilliant light is being taken out of the room, let us all take the brilliant light of the lessons and love and fellowship that we have felt today, this Sunday, in this space, out into the world, in our family and into the world. One person at a time, one step at a time does miracles. And now back to our own Reverend Bobbi Becker.
All right, let's close this up. But I wanted, Ray, would you stay right there for me for just a moment? If you go back to the slides, there's one that looks very rainbow-ish. It's during the talk. No,
During the talk?
During the talk. It's like a rainbow slide.
Right there.
There it is. Remember that? For some of you, a couple weeks ago. So I have to remember what pocket I did. Okay. You were given a color to choose from because of the word you chose. How many of you have colored or used your cube? How many of you wish you were coloring and using your cube, right? So I'm going to invite you, if you didn't get one, you can still get one. You can still color them, and you can still do this. So I'm going to be bringing this up every week through the end of the year because my word is creativity. So my color is orange for this month. And I did this last year, not the same way, and what a difference something like this makes. So please don't wait to do that. Thank you, Ray, for doing that. And ask for a cube on your way out, and make sure you have a word that you want to realize in the new year. You don't have to work at it. You just have to pay attention, which is wonderful. So with that, let's say a prayer. So if everyone will please stand. The last thing I'll say, for those of you who are wondering if I referred or looked at Louise Hay for what happens when you have a sprained ankle. Yes, I did. Because that's what I have. It's a nice little sprain, not little, but it's a sprain. And so what Louise Hay says about my sprain is that I have anger and frustration. Now, what's interesting about that is I definitely had anger and frustration when I sprained it. And I don't mean after I sprained it. I mean before. And so I was thinking about that because, yes, there was certainly that day there were things that said maybe you shouldn't go do what you're about to do, although I always do this, and that's a good thing. But the other thing is, I was thinking about it today when we're trying to be perfect or we're trying to do something in a way that we think it should be done, and we get angry and frustrated. That's exactly what I was doing right before I sprained my ankle. I was angry and frustrated because things were not kind of happening the way that I think they should. That doesn't mean I got a sprained ankle because of it. It just means I get to look at it and say, okay, what's in this for me? What's in this for me to realize my own wholeness, which I really see my wholeness in all this. So remember that. Okay? So let us say our benediction together. Are you ready? I know something amazing is happening. Is it true?
Yes.
What is it?
Something
Wonderful is happening through me right now. What is it? Sorry. I forgot you were in my wholeness too. What is this thing called?
It is this thing called life.
So for the day, where is this life?
Life is in
my mind. Life is in my body. Life is all that I am. Life is all that we are. Not even sure what to do with that last note. I like it. What am I going to do with it? And? And I'm guessing that I'm going to do it in a particular way. And how's that?
just the way it appears.
And just the way it appears not. At a time of year when everything's amplified, would you not agree? Everything is amplified. It's a moment in time right now to appreciate all that is. The things I like, the things I don't like, the things I'm frustrated in, things I have joy in. For just a moment, can I take all that in and be grateful? Can I? So on the count of 3, I want you to demonstrate that. Are you ready? With the last line. 1, 2, 3. Now before you start that, I want to remind you about next week. Potluck. Please make sure that you bring dishes that you take home. Please make sure that you bring things that they don't have to cut up. Right? Take your dirty dish home next week. Awesome. We're going to have fun next week, 4:30. Thank you.
And if anyone has...
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah.
One more time from the top.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family.
Let us be reminded.
Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Have an awesome week. We'll see you next time, 4:30. Go ahead, Sir Terry. It's on.